And then, right when COVID hit, I went part-time and I got different executive work for money,
Okay. All right, you are live.
All right. All right. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Public Safety and Licensing Committee for February 13th. Thank you all for being here, greatly appreciated. Roll call is not required as we are all present, so we'll go with that as the roll call. Our first order of business is the approval of the minutes from the January 30th meeting.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and proper second. Any discussion on the minutes? Any corrections, omissions, anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. First order of regular business then, 92-23, communication requesting the appearance of Cornelius Herring for an operator's license. Mr. Herring, please come on up. Thank you, and I have to confirm that everything you tell us will be the truth.
Yes.
Thank you, sir, appreciate that. So we have a application from you, and I believe there's city clerk's office. There was an issue on the record check, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, well, ultimately what we're showing here is that you had, for line 7, say that you had no misdemeanors or felonies in the last 10 years, but your record check came back with a carry concealed weapon in 2019, which very would disqualify you for this. Should we get your observations or any discussion about that from your perspective?
From my understanding, it was taken care of, and I thought it was gonna be off the record or whatever. But, since then, I got my concealed to carry license or whatever, I got proof of that today as well. And I will be getting a letter from my employer as well to show that qualified.
Right, Alder Pearson.
It says you said on here you had a misdemeanor, didn't say what it was, and then, so how did it, do you have any idea, I'm assuming maybe you put that for the, I don't know if you put that down for the concealed carry. Do you have any idea if you are considered a felon at this time?
Absolutely not.
Right. So your charge of the concealed carry was not a felony?
No, it wasn't, it was dropped to a misdemeanor, so that's why I put that on.
Okay.
Questions from anybody else? Yes, Alder Scully.
Not so much a question for you, Cornelius. Are we able to look that up? Probably not on the spot. Maybe this is a deferment anyway, because you talked about your employer could write a letter, and we do like to see that. So maybe it would be a deferment to the next meeting, but to see if that was dropped to a misdemeanor.
Carrying a weapon is a misdemeanor.
Oh, it is a misdemeanor.
Okay.
So
There's no,
with that being said, his application, I don't see that it is falsified in any way.
No.
It's, you did, this is your handwriting, and, it shows that you did disclose that you did have a misdemeanor. So, honestly, this normally wouldn't come before us then, because a misdemeanor wouldn't trigger for us to even have to review this. So, unless the attorney's office or the clerk's office has any more clarity that they need to bring on this, to me, I'd be happy to make a motion for approval unless we need more information from the clerk or the attorney's office.
Do we need anything?
No.
So, is that an official motion?
Yes,
To
that was
approve?
an official motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any further discussion on the item? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
No need to come back. It has been approved.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you're good to go. Thank you.
Item 9323, communication requesting the appearance of Stephanie Algerin for an operator's license. Stephanie?
Stephanie?
This is a second request or first? First request, okay.
Move to defer?
Second.
Discussion on deferment? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 874-22, communication submitting application for an hour premise description change for Top 10 at 1301 Washington Avenue. William Reyes Gonzalez is the agent. I know we have a few folks here to talk on this.
Yes, let's do it.
Whoa, very impressive. All right, so, first of all, just be sure everything you tell us will be the truth there.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you very much, assuming you're William Reyes Gonzalez.
I am.
Thank you very much. All right, so please tell us what you're asking of us at this point, first of all, then.
We're asking to extend our hours to 1:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be saying last call about 1 o'clock. Get everybody out of place by 1:30
Your current hours are midnight,
to 12:30.
12:30, okay.
Which we've complied. We haven't had any issues. We actually been closing a little early because it's been a little slow.
Okay. I got the first question that comes to mind for me then. If you're closing early, you want to extend your hours?
Yeah, well, no, it's the slowest month of the year. January and February are usually the slowest month of the year.
All right, and I believe that,
Mostly all sales.
there are other questions. Alderman Peterson? No?
Nope, I appreciate that, been able to stick to your hours for the last month or thereabouts where we've been at, so.
All right.
No, and I appreciate you guys having faith in me.
And I appreciate also you going to 1:30 instead of 2:30.
Yeah, definitely.
That's, going, from, 12:30 to 2:30. The later you stay up and the more trouble there's gonna be.
Definitely. I agree.
All right, motion is in order.
I will make a motion to approve this, change.
Second.
A second, any further discussion on the item? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Yes, thank you very much, and nicely timed as well.
Effect next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday?
Am I right? Or no?
Do we have?
You go to Common Council, and then I'll give you a call to pick up a new license with the new times on it.
Okay.
So, yeah, you don't have it just yet, wait till you get contacted.
All right, that's no problem. Thank you.
All right, next item, communication. Submitting an application for an hour premise description change for 1518, located at 1520 Washington. Shaquila Buckley, the agent.
Hello.
And here Shaquila is, hello. Same question for you, everything you tell us gonna be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you very much. So, let's start off with that. Tell us what you're looking to do at this point.
So we are looking to modify our hours. When we first applied, we had put down 8 a.m. to 12. We are looking to extend that to 2.
Okay?
Well, actually, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Oh, you,
Since we've been open, we've been finding that majority of our customers come in between the hours of 12 and 2
open to
a.m.
in the morning there then? But you're closed at 12?
They are like at the door, trying to get in. We have a hard time, we have to turn people around because, they come at that time. And we have to tell them that we close, we have to lock the door. They're banging on the door,
Okay?
trying to get food after they leave other bars.
Okay. We have a particular event on here that, charging the gas, 1518?
Yeah, there's actually, I also got one last night from a sergeant, but the first one's gonna be on the 4th. We had a civil trouble there, a security guard called, asking for police for a fight inside the bar. On our arrival, which was, we got the call at 2:22 hours, there at 2 in the morning. Officers arrived, the problem parties already left, but there was also pepper spray used inside the bar, so, we had to deal with that. And then, last night, an officer was driving through the area, there was a large volume of cars at the establishment, and that was at 0100 hours, and there was people coming and going from the establishment as well.
Was there a ticket given last night?
They didn't do that due to manpower, we were unable to, do that, for the other one, they were cited.
All right, Elder Cove?
Well, I mean, I had a lot of hope you guys have just been open about a month, and you guys had numerous calls for asking for police. And at this point, I'm not willing to extend the hours because you guys can't control what you have right now. I mean, and I probably wouldn't be considering it at all, but I think what you need to do is wait till the change of the licensing when the new ones come up for July 1st, because you need to get a handle on what you have right now. And I will not support a change at this time.
I would
Can I
like,
say something?
Sure, a second.
yeah,
Go ahead.
hang on just a minute, okay? I would like to point out on your behalf that we appreciate your calling actually here then.
Yeah.
If the calls are coming in, should be calling, that is appropriate. The issue appears to be that you were calling after hours when you should have been closed, I think, here then.
Yeah.
Alder Peterson, did you have a?
I was just along the same lines. Calling because you have a problem is not an issue.
No.
Calling after hours is a big issue. I mean, problems happening after hours is a big issue. You got, sounds like 2 documented, instances where you've had stuff going on, one of which you were received violations for. So, you can,
Yeah, so please respond as you see appropriate.
The first time that the police came, they said that they came off of Wellers Street. The second time that the police came, it was from an anonymous call because a underage person was in the bar. One of my team members pointed her out. She had a fake ID. We put her out the bar. She called and said that there were 2 or 10 minors or whatever in the bar fighting that night. That was not true, and I don't recall that being after midnight.
What about the citation you received?
So that one was after midnight. We actually that night had a bit of a problem putting people out. When they come in late and they get their drinks or whatever, you know, they're drinking, we don't want to like push everybody out and they got drinks in their hand. You know, we want to confiscate the drinks or whatever and make sure that everything is safe for people to exit and leave.
Right, that's why you have last call like a half hour before you close. You don't serve drinks at 12:45.
Right, but the bartenders, we have to, you
I mean,
know,
that's
talk
your,
to them
you guys are in charge
separate,
of
yeah.
that. I mean,
I agree.
So if we give you to the time you want, what's gonna stop somebody coming in at 1:30 and, well, we can't get them out of here, so let's just keep it open till 2:30.
Well, I actually made several calls trying to get a off-duty, like official officer instead of the security team that we hired, to control that crowd. And I've been having no luck with that.
Right, but you understand that it's the agents or the bartenders' working's responsibility to get people out of there on time. It's nobody else's
Right,
responsibility.
and we do our best with that.
All right. Thank you.
Alder Coe.
So you said last night it was after hours again?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it doesn't matter, you were supposed to be closed at 1, I'm sorry, but you're supposed to be closed, and this happened after 1 a.m.
Well, I actually have a hard time believing that because I was in the bar last night after I got off at 10 o'clock, and there was nobody in there. So when did this crowd appear last night? We didn't have a huge crowd at all yesterday.
I mean, in case with that, the sergeant that drove through the lot had his camera on. There were more than 50 cars in the lot, and I don't know of any other establishment that's in that
They said
area.
that last night,
Last night, what?
that more than 50 cars was in the parking lot after hours.
No, that's not true. I mean, we could look out the camera and count them. If we have employees that stay after or whatever, but,
Okay.
it was an operational, I'm sorry.
Okay, you identify
Tyrone
yourself.
Buckley.
Oh, okay, thank you, Tyrone.
Shaquila's father.
Okay.
I thought you guys all knew me by now.
Just for the record,
But, huh?
just for the record, we gotta get you in there.
Okay. And then I've tried extensively to get an off-duty officer to come work. You guys won't give me one. I've offered to pay double the rate that's going for it. We're currently at like, I don't know, $8,000, for paying armed security guards. That's, that's a bit much, but we try to do that to put you guys at ease and the community or the people around. I understand there's gonna be a lot of calls just because I'm a high-profile figure, some stuff that I was involved in a while back. So it's people that's gonna call on the bar because they think it's mine, and they're gonna make frivolous calls no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of bars that they have those frivolous calls. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, we only been open not even a month, and look at all the calls. I'm seeing that sure. It ain't like we're in there, running anything illegal or anything. We welcome the police in. We let the police in if they come. We give them access to the cameras. We got a thing that checks the IDs. We give them access to that. So I don't know what more we can do to satisfy you guys.
You missed the earlier conversation. We're not focusing on frivolous calls. We're focusing on two specific calls, February 4th and last night, where you were open past hours. You had a call at 2 o'clock in the morning on February 4th after 2 o'clock.
Well, to 2 o'clock in the morning, we were not open, and it's a public parking lot. There are other businesses there, and you guys can't just put all those cars, even if it were 50 cars. Do you have proof they were at the 15, 18? You guys just can't come and say, oh, it's a public parking lot, 24-hour public parking lot.
Well, it's interesting.
So
It's interesting you arrived late, and on the 4th, you just gave a different response.
Huh?
It's interesting that you arrived late on the 4th. You're saying
I arrived late?
you arrived to this meeting late.
Okay.
On the 4th, your daughter just said there were people in the bar.
Yesterday, I'm referring to last night.
Okay.
That there were not, I got cameras as well. So we can compare cameras and you can look in there and see, the employees that were in there after hours. We're allowed to have our employees and stuff in there, right? Just can't be open to the public. And
Well, let's focus.
Let's
focus on February 4th then.
Okay, what was the 4th?
We got the citation.
Okay, what about the citation? Well, you guys got a call, the security, from my understanding, called and, said that they had a.
Appreciated, by the way.
Huh?
It's very appreciated that your security did call.
Right, I mean, we're taking on, we called the cops yesterday. Why you guys are not reporting that? We called for a lady my staff, they called for a lady that seemed to be disturbed or whatever. She was trying to get drinks. She was laying out on the floor or whatever, but we didn't serve her. You know, we tried to, as best we can, to get her outside. Once we got her outside, we did the responsible thing by calling the medics and the ambulance to have her checked out. We just didn't let her walk off. You know what I'm saying? So we're doing the responsible thing. I can assure you, I take personal responsibility for anything I help create. I will not allow this business to become a nuisance for the city of Racine. However, you know what I'm saying, life is life, and of course, people are gonna call because they're unsatisfied. We can't please everybody, right? So you get people that call just because, we got minors, for instance. Before that, they stopped like a group of 3-4 minors from coming in. Well, they got mad, they left out, went across the street, called the police, said they had 6 minors in there fighting. You guys came in, you didn't check one ID. You went straight to the board to check her license, but you guys didn't ask for no ID, but you said you got a call for minors in here fighting. Right?
Do we have that?
So that's not fair to us.
Pardon?
It's on our last report.
Okay, that's last month's report, okay.
Right, and you guys came in and checked the license, but you guys didn't check for one ID. But you said you got a call for 6 minors fighting. So you guys are being biased with how you apply this stuff, and that's why I'm kind of upset. I spent over $800,000 into this project, and I don't want to see it fail. We will run it responsibly, but as we all know, having these types of businesses, like it's a certain amount of calls or whatever you can do, but I guarantee you it won't be no shooting at my place. It won't be no guns. I have a 0 tolerance. And if I catch somebody trying to get in with a gun, I'm going to call the police on them, and they know that. It's simple as that. Do not come to my place with a gun. I don't care who you are. The only people that should have, and that's why I want an off-duty officer, because if I had a police there, they wouldn't, the would-be troublemakers, they wouldn't even come. And then a lot of the issue what people don't understand who own these types of establishments is they chase that dollar after that $1.30, and that's when all the stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? We were just asking to get to 1 because, unfortunately, like the times that like right now, we've been open all day. but they don't come until 10, 11 o'clock at night. And I gotta pay my bills, we gotta pay the staff and all that. And it's unfortunate for us, but that's the only time these guys patronize a place like that. They won't, we're open right now, and I can guarantee you go down there, it might be 1 or 2 people there. And I have a huge staff I gotta pay, so that's why we're asking for the extended hours, you know, and it's nothing. I mean, you as an officer, you're welcome to come in there at any time. The door do not be locked except after hours, you know, when it's closed, we close the door, but other than that, when it's open, the door is always open. You can come in and search or whatever. Like I've tried to cooperate and deal with the police extensively. I have several texts and recordings or whatever. We filled out an application with Officer Terry to get several of you guys to come do, but no one wants to do it. I almost feel like you guys want us to fail. Like, I almost feel like I get there, well, I'm just saying, I get the impression that.
Sir, that's enough. That's enough. Alder Jared, you have a question?
Yeah, sure. Ms. Bossy, are you the owner operator or the agent for the establishment? Okay, so I'm just gonna direct my, comments to you, because I know your dad has been here and stuff like that and helping you out. So basically, like the gentleman that just left here, they've had the same issues, where they were open past their times that they, asked for at the beginning, and they had some issues. And so same thing, we deferred it. We said, well, no, we will not approve, extending those hours until you can show us that you are abiding by your current hours. So that is the thing on my perspective, anyways, I cannot speak for the rest of the committee. That's the way I am, planning to vote tonight, is that show us that you can control the crowd and, do what you're supposed to do, and during your hours, and then come back to us, and then, yes, you could extend the hours, you could have that conversation then. So I understand what you guys are saying, is like you can't get people to move along, you can't force people out of your bar. Well, actually, you can, because it's your establishment. So if they don't want to leave, then you call the cops or whatever the case is. But regardless, a lot of these calls are after your operating hours, even like 12:30 is after your operating hours, 1 o'clock is after your operating hours. So do you understand why we're a little bit, I wouldn't say like shy about extending it. It's nothing about us being biased. It's like you have to abide by what's on there. So if you can show us that you can abide by what's on there, then absolutely we can revisit extending the hours. These gentlemen that just left here, sorry, I just have my.
I know, I just wanted to.
So the gentlemen that just left here, they had again the same issues. And so we across the board, we're trying to be very fair and consistent across the board. They had the same issues. We told them, come back to us in a month, show that you could abide by what you have, and then we could discuss extending those hours. So that's why I just want you to understand, from our point of view, like, again, this is a public safety and licensing committee. So we have to take the safety of the public into consideration.
Ms. Buckley?
With me having a background, such a long background in healthcare and nursing, I know safety is firsthand, so I do understand that.
Sir, did you?
Yeah, I just want to, you know, where I don't know where my aggression or hostility come from. It'd be like the first day we were open, the officer that used to sit on this committee, he was outside, and I thought it was a friend of mine because they share a similar car, so I rode up on it, and he's like, hey, you just the man I'm looking for. And I was like, who is you? But I recognized him for sitting on the committee, and it was Officer Ortiz. The first day, he was here the next day and said that he had a report of guys over here with guns. And I'm like, come on, guy, like, really, Ortiz? Like, I got a background, and they take that and they use it against me or whatever, but I haven't been in trouble over 13 years, you know what I'm saying? I've been a law-abiding citizen. I don't know, I just feel like the way things are going about it, you know what I'm saying, we're being targeted out the gate. Because for him to come up the very next day after we were open and say that he got a report of guys being there with guns is,
Alder Cabrillion?
Thank you. Ms. Buckley, I'm gonna agree with Alder Jarrett here, and my sentiments are gonna be, close to the same. You talked about having some issues with the bartenders still serving up until a certain point, and, I want you to understand that, even though they may be doing it, we're talking to you. The responsibility does fall on you to either train them or, let them know that, you know, right now your application, states a certain time of opening. So if we have just one violation, this other stuff that's talked about, that's not what we're considering. Right now, your application is to extend your hours, and we see a violation on the 4th of those hours already being violated. We have to make sure that we have a cohesive working relationship, and just so, I know when you come in here, you can totally expect what comes from us, and when you come in here, we know what to expect from you as well. And so we just need to build this trust. And so at this time, I would not approve extending the hours. I think we have to make sure, we have to sit and watch the business or have it function. We don't have any reports that come where there's some violations after hours. And so then we can have a reconsideration of that like we did with the last establishment that was before us. So, I understand that, just hearing from your father that you feel like there's some biases or something going on. None of us have talked about that. I want you to understand that we're just looking at what we're looking at right now, and we're talking about a violation on February 4th. So if you can focus on that and help your staff start shutting things down, just so you can be in agreement with the application in which you presented to us. Those were hours that you presented. We didn't ask you. You presented those hours to us. And so we want to help you, and if it's a security that you need to up your security, and just realize that responsibility also falls on you, and it won't fall on us, but we will look at you, upon you if there's some type of hindrance that's happening in the community, and safety, as you said, becomes a concern. So we're going to ask you those questions about your security and things like that. So I just wanted you to understand where I'm coming from and then what we're looking at here. Thank you, Ms. Buckley. Yeah.
What do you suggest that we do to actually get the off-duty official officers in the building?
Yeah, so that wouldn't be within any of our purview. That would be a business owner's responsibility to look up security. That wouldn't be ours.
The Racine Police Department.
Hang on one moment, please. Sergeant, can you speak to that, or?
So it's an off-duty position, right? Officers don't have to do it. Our officers at this current moment are overworked, so they might not want to do that off-duty position at that time. If you want, I can give you my card. You can send me an email. I'll send out try to see if you can get another group. Maybe some people want to do it now, would be willing to do it, so I can give you my card. You can send me an email tomorrow with the information that you're looking for.
Well, we filled out an application with Terry Jones. He's supposed to been getting us a group of
I mean, if he sent it out, I can't speak on that. I haven't spoke with Sergeant Jones. But if you spoke with Sergeant Jones, that would be on him. Again, he maybe put it out, but no officers want to do it. We can't force our officers to do an off-duty assignment, right? So, I mean, if they don't want to do it, they have families as well. They're already working long days. They might not want to put in the extra time now. So we're overworked at the PD too. We, at the PD, wouldn't want to see you guys fail in any sense of the word either, so. I mean, it's up to you. I can give you my card after the meeting's done, and you can send it to me, and I can send it out again just to try to do it again.
One other thing, so we all know this is a 24-hour public parking lot in back of this place, right? So I just, or at least, could you guys give us consideration, because, yeah, we can get them out at 12, but we have no power of making them leave the parking lot. It's a public parking lot.
So on our end, if we have the manpower, we can cite those vehicles. So, I know in a couple of reports, we have officers that actually went through and cited vehicles.
Well, you cited my vehicle for being in a private spot, but it's my building.
Okay, again, I only go by what information I have on the report.
Okay.
So if that's how it is, that's how we go. Like I said last night when I watched.
I don't see how you guys could ticket. It's a 24-hour public parking lot.
So some of the municipal lots have times where you can park. Certain lots you can park from 06.
I know, you guys literally have 24-hour public parking lot, sign posted.
Some of them are 24, some of them are not, but within those zones, there's still no parking exceptions, right? So when I watched the video last night, you had cars lined up against, or I'm not saying you, but there was cars parked in that public parking area with no parking all the way around there. we don't have the resources sometimes to sit there and cite every vehicle. So we have to go by a case-by-case basis to figure out what we can do for that situation, depending on calls for service within.
And that was yesterday,
Peterson?
or the day before yesterday. You talking about Saturday, or you
Sure.
talking about,
I was got a question here. Alder Peterson?
Just a further comment. Right now,
That's good.
the police department's down like 30 guys, thereabouts, 30-plus guys. Mandatory overtime, plus prior commitments. I highly doubt it's a issue of location, personality. That's a big jump. These guys are overworked. They're working mandatory overtime, all of them. If you're working 16 hours already, why would you go work a part-time job? But they're in a tough situation right now. I don't know that everybody realizes that.
Okay, Alder Caprellian?
I would like to make a motion to defer this request, if that's appropriate, from the attorney's office for 2 months.
Do we have a second to the motion?
Second.
Discussion on the item?
Just to, again, to Ms. Buckley, I remember when you and your dad came in here and you guys spent a lot of money on that spot. And even in your application to extend those hours, you said, like, you know, you're learning the business as you go along. So I do want to see you succeed, but you gotta put in that extra work and get those people out of there and just abide by what you have right now, and when you come back, we can definitely have that discussion again. I know you guys put a lot of money and time and blood and sweat into this business, so we do want to see you succeed.
it's like when you try to get them out, but the culture here, you turn on the lights at 12 o'clock, they're literally, my security literally, you know, getting into it, like verbal confrontations because we're asking the people to leave. And you pissing me off. What do you mean we're pissing you off? Just leave. You know what I'm saying? They'll literally stand there and we're acting like the whole staff is saying, time to go, and they'll literally just stand there. Like we're talking to the, you know, so what do? You know, it's like you kind of got to wait on them to dissipate. So we start getting them out at 11. We only open an hour. Can't survive off of that. So, I don't know. We have dilemmas too, but, all right, it is what it is.
Alder Coe, to the motion? Go ahead.
Well, what I was gonna question, they only have one entrance in there. I know you can exit the front, but are you gonna do something in the front so people know you're?
Yeah, we gotta put the sign there, the door is always open, it just, I don't know why people don't come in the front, they just come around to the back.
All right.
But, we have the light on and all that,
I drive by sometimes and there's no lights out there at night, and I'm just concerned about.
well, it's just, because it's just that one door, if you look, you can see the light on in that hallway for that one door, but it's just that one door that goes down there, the other storefronts are not operational, that's why it looks like that, but the open sign and the doors right there, I guess they just, because of the sidewalk on the side of the building, they just, and the parking there, so that's why they just all, I don't know, for some reason they go to the back, you know, and then another officer suggested for me to block off that parking lot period, but I was like, so they don't even turn down off in there.
City Attorney?
Can you do that?
City Attorneys?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to inform the committee before it votes on this item as well, that in addition to the closing hours violation, I did get notification from the police department on February 12th that they were operating under a different name, Tradewinds. I did reach out to Ms. Buckley. I sent her an email shortly after that day notifying her that any changes to the application, including the name by which the business runs by, you do have to get approval for. As we discussed at the Good Neighbors meeting, if you have any changes, including the name, you do have to submit that in writing, bring it before the committee.
Our name has not changed.
Okay.
And we have not operated under any other name besides the 1518. Tradewinds is the old name to that business.
Okay, if it has changed.
About
it does have to
frivolous
get
calls,
approval.
cause y'all know we ain't operating under no trade winds, like,
Peterson?
trade winds ain't been open.
Yeah, I think the officer may be mistaken that name's still out front. That doesn't mean it.
Okay. All right, further discussion on the motion to defer for 2 months. All in favor?
And
Motion carries, so this is not a denial, it's just approved over the next couple of months, that you can get people out the door on a timely basis with your current license, and then we'll, at that point, be able to potentially extend the license times after that. All right, thank you very much. Oh, and the officer has his card for you as well.
Do you want the officer's card?
Next item is 797-22, communication regarding the ordinance change for the municipal code to update towing rates as attached. City Attorney.
Yes, so pursuant to the committee's instructions at the last meeting, I did revise the table of towing rate schedule to reflect all the changes that you discussed. The only thing that I wanted to note that wasn't on there before, but was discussed in great detail with the towing companies, was the addition of a low clearance truck or equipment that is often used, for example, when retrieving a vehicle from the parking lot. I was informed that it is very difficult to retrieve vehicles from the parking lot without bringing in a special truck.
Parking deck, you mean?
I'm sorry?
Parking deck, you mean, parking structure?
Yes, parking structure.
Okay.
But it's very difficult to do that without special clearance trucks and equipment.
Okay.
And so they did ask for that, and all three towing companies did. I know that when we discussed at the last, meeting, but they did ask for $45. So I put that in there, certainly you can approve it without that, line item, but I did put that in there just in case the committee wanted to approve that. So if you take a look at the final draft, you can see that the, table was revised, it's kind of
Back another page.
done so that, it condensed everything into what I hope is a much easier form to read. You recall,
Page 24 is marked.
you organize all public tows into one area, so not just tows to the impound or to the owner or to the, towing company's lot, but any tow under the chart would be one rate for public tows, and then another, rate at an 20% discount for city vehicles. So I hope it's simpler to read, so unless you have any questions, that's the final one.
All right, any discussion? Motion is in order.
I will make the motion to approve, what are we calling this? The changes in the ordinance, in section 22-838 of the municipal code to update the towing rate.
A motion and a proper second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you for your work on that. Greatly appreciate it. Item 114-23, the license premise report. Sergeant,
But, yeah,
any other highlights?
nothing that I saw that was outrageous, a couple parking violations, alarms. I think Richard was probably the, Richard, Grill. Sorry.
Richards is January 26th.
Yeah, so there was a complaint there, about an unruly customer. Police did end up showing up and speaking with that patron. She was upset about a, missing phone. She also called and said that there was underage people there, so when officers showed up, they didn't find any underage parties. They also found that the party that originally called was highly intoxicated and also had two phones. On speaking with one of her friends, or one of the patron's friends, they found that, the incident happened at a different establishment and not at ours. So, but police were called and we did take some action, so we ended up actually getting her out of the bar after some cocaine.
Do we have a report on the other establishment?
She didn't, the patient didn't go into that portion of it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, any questions from the committee for anything else? A motion is in order, Vice Chair. Receive and file.
I make a motion to receive and file the license premise report.
Okay.
Any discussion on the motion? All in favor? Motion carries. We have one last item, which will be a formality this time. 11523, communication requesting any consideration for formal expressions of concern.
I will make that motion to receive and file.
Second.
Motion second to receive and file the item this month. Further discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. We have exhausted the agenda. We stand adjourned.
Attorney News, yay.